is because of Errol the True Spence Jr. He made that fight happen, bro. Errol Spence had the bigger pay-per-view numbers. He had the better resume at the time. The only thing that Terence Buck Crawford could say to even argue for a 50-50 fight is the fact that he was undisputed. You know what I'm saying? He was already undisputed at 140. You know what I'm saying? So it might have been 135 as well. I don't remember, but I know he undisputed 140, right? So with that being said, now that Terence Buck Crawford is the face of boxing, right? He beat Canelo Alvarez, who's the face of boxing, which makes him the face of boxing, right? Now that he's the face of boxing, Jaron Boots Ennis, you know, who's pretty much in the same position, because remember, Jaron Boots Ennis, while he was at 147 back in 2023, he was Terence Buck Crawford's mandatory for one of Terence Crawford's belts at 147. And what did Terence Buck Crawford do? He dropped the belt. Instead of fighting his mandatory Boots, he dropped the belt, which means that he ducked Jaron Boots Ennis. And not only that, Terence Crawford has said in multiple interviews that he has no interest in fighting Jaron Boots Ennis. Why? Because he feels like it's too risky, and he says the risk is not worth the reward. He feels like Jaron Boots Ennis isn't a big name in the sport. He feels like it's not a big payday fight for him, which is basically all he really cares about is big paydays now. You know what I'm saying? And he just feels like the chances of him losing are too high. You understand what I'm saying? Now, Terence Buck Crawford has been doing a lot of lying, okay? He keeps saying in interviews that Jaron Boots Ennis had the chance to fight Terence Crawford back in the day, and Jaron Boots Ennis chose not to fight him. Now, there's no proof of that, okay? There is zero proof at any point that Jaron Boots Ennis had the opportunity to fight Terence Buck Crawford, and it didn't happen. Jaron Boots Ennis actually denied this, okay? It's a lie. Let's just call it what it is. It's a lie, okay? Jaron Boots Ennis called out Errol Spence at 147. Errol Spence said he had no interest in fighting Jaron Boots Ennis. He called out Keith Thurman at 147. Keith Thurman had no interest. He called out Jaron Boots Ennis, you know what I'm saying, Jaron Boots Ennis became Terence Crawford's mandatory. Terence Crawford dropped the belt, end up going up to 154 to fight Israel Majimov. Okay? So let's just call it what it is, man. All of the things that Terence Crawford was complaining about, now he's doing the same thing, bro. So all the Terence Crawford fans out there, all of y'all that was saying that Canelo Alvarez was ducking and he was picking and choosing opponents, and you know, he was fighting the Edgar Bolognas of the world and the Jaime Munguias. He kept giving you guys fights that you didn't want to see. Well, now your favorite fighter, Terence Crawford, is doing